Yo, what's going on, Nomads and Drifting Podcast listeners? I'm Brian.
And I'm Monica.
And welcome to the Backspace Nomads Podcast, where we're sure our nerd for gaming, movies, and all the dork in between. Before we start the show, we want to know, you inherit $1 million from your dead grandpa. He specifies you have to use it on gaming. How you spending that money? Let's start the show. All right, Monica, you're $1 million richer.
I am.
What are you spending this money on gaming-wise?
I'm in my room. It's very dirty still. And I'm just swimming in my sea of dollar bills.
Scrooge McDuck in it?
Yeah, I'm Scrooge McDucking my dollar bills. And I'm like, well, what am I going to spend this on? And it has to be on gaming because for some reason, my grandpa was just like, you know what, Monica, you like gaming. I'm going to make sure you enjoy your life. So I'm going to force you to spend $1 million on this hobby that shouldn't cost you $1 million. and as I'm swimming around in my money, I'm like, Grandpa, why? But I'm also putting considerable thought into how I want to use this. And I've put considerable thought into this, Brian.
Yeah.
I'll have you know. I thought, should I do some type of protest? Should I go out in front of EA because you hate them so much and burn some money and be like, this is what it's like playing your games. It's just a burn of money, Like, should I do that?
Language.
Should I go and give Nintendo Switches to the homeless so they have something cool to do? Should I go, what should I be doing with this money? It's a lot of money for gaming. Should I start my own business? It's $1 million. What am I going to do in the gaming industry? The gaming industry is $1 billion industry. What am I going to do? I could fund some indie games for sure. But I think I figured out what I am going to do with this $1 million, Brian. And it's camp. I'm going to create a camp because there are always these cool camps in other countries where you get to go and you get to LARP, but not LARP, like lame LARPing. You get to do
lame LARPing.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, is there not a non-lame LARPing scenario?
Oh my God, there is such... Dude, it looks like actual battles are happening. It is amazing. And not only that, there is a Witcher school out there, Brian. There is a Witcher school where you go and you learn how to fight with swords.
You're telling me I can learn Griffin technique?
Yes, you can. You just... Ignis. Or Igni. But... You
gotta go to the camp, dude. You're rusty.
I'm rusty. I gotta go to camp. So I think what I would actually do with this is I would create a camp in the United States of America where I live. And it would be as cool as all the weird little Danish camps and all these weird little camps that they've got. I would bring it to my home. And you'd go and maybe there would be the Witcher camp, but maybe another week it would be the Chrono Trigger camp,
Yeah.
And
frogs,
you
robots,
and you've got to dress up like a frog. I don't know. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm waiting for this grandpa to give me the money, and then I'll start doing more work. I got a lot going on.
Okay,
but that's where my head's at.
I like where your head's at. You're giving back.
It would be a camp. It would be a fun video game camp.
Nice. This is all like the Ben Stiller movie, Fat Camp, or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It's going to be all the kids at your camp playing beautiful video games. I love it, actually. You're a lot nicer than I am. You're a woman of the people, Monica.
I am. I thought about the people. I even thought about you, like I said, with the EA burning of the $1 million in front of EA.
I was thinking about this $1 million, and you did not even enter my hemisphere of thought. I'm
not surprised.
It's all right, but I have big goals. I have big dreams. You know me. People call me the Elon Musk of video gamers.
Oh yeah,
all the time.
They sure do.
And so I'm a little tired of playing video games on the Earth, Monica. Gravity is exhausting. It makes my skin look bad. I'm getting out of bed in the morning. My bones hurt. It's just holding me down too much.
I see.
And I'm trying to press these buttons and my thumbs, which they're not springing back up how they used to. So I want one last hurrah. I want to feel like I'm a young 15-year-old gamer again, popping heads off with my PS4 controller or probably PS2 back in the day, just going off. I want to take a Nintendo Switch branded rocket ship to outer space. And I want to be playing the Switch or maybe the Xbox, whoever wants to give me enough Red Bull, whatever I need to get up there.
If you do this, you're going to make the $1 million back, Brian. It's genius.
Dude, see, I'm the Elon Musk of video gamers. They've been telling me this since I was like 11 years old, Monica. There's been over 20 years of Elon Musk comparisons, and I'm tired of it. It's time to finally do something, all right? So I'm playing video games in outer space. I'm looking at the stars. I'm not even caring about them. I really just want to play Minecraft while I'm up in outer space, building earthly things down low. It's just, I think I can make the papers. That's my goal.
I agree with you. I think it's
fun, baby. Make the papers.
Absolutely. I think that's a great goal. I think it's a great way to inherit. What to do if you inherited $1 million and you had to spend it on gaming? This was a tough question.
It was.
I would love to hear what some of our folks at home or in their automobiles. Some of you guys might even live in your automobiles.
Whatever.
But love to hear what you guys would do.
Yeah. Don't even pull over. Just on the phone, type it in while you're driving.
Yep.
Hit a red light and let us know real quick. All right, let's jump into this dumb show. Quick follow-up before we get into some of the topics for the night. Last week we covered IGN's Plagiarism, Monica.
Yeah. Are we going to do the follow-up song?
There's a follow-up song?
Follow up, follow up, follow up. Okay, ready.
We didn't talk about that before the show.
That's true.
That didn't... Normally there's a process where we talk about what we're going to do and things either get nixed or they make it on air. And that didn't go through the normal review process, Monica.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's good. Follow up. I forgot the words. So follow up. Philip Musin, he was a editor for IGN who did a review of Dead Cells and completely ripped off another YouTuber but who goes by the name of Boomstick Gaming. Philip has finally answered all the questions by posting his response on his own YouTube channel. And to say the least, Monica, God, Philip was just a victim of the times.
Oh yeah, let me tell you. So we talked about this on our last episode 69, and Philip graced us with some beautiful things to cover, and now we get to talk about him because he hasn't even owned the fact that he plagiarized this other person. He's like, oh, I just do a lot of research before, and it was unintentional. I would never do something like this. I would never almost verbatim steal someone else's content.
Yeah.
But also, just as adds up, that's part of everyone's process.
Oh, yeah. He's not the only one who does this, Monica. Everyone in the review space, including Boomstick Gaming, goes to other people's YouTube channels and written reviews and just gets all their ideas from them to verify what they were thinking, I guess, right?
Yeah, which is insane because it's almost like one of those chicken and the egg situations. What came first, the review or the people reviewing it?
Oh my God.
How does it work in this industry, Philip? You need to explain this to us. So, I mean, if the review comes before the reviewer, then what in the world? I can't even fathom. My big, dumb, stupid head can't even fathom how this entire operation happens. Yeah, it's actually just more like a medium-sized head. You're right.
I'll say this about Philip. After seeing his video, he 100% did not convince me because immediately seeing him in his little recording booth, you can tell this guy's ripped off everything in his life. This guy has the patented audio, foam surrounding him in a gamer chair. He's wearing a sweet black V-neck from Old Navy. He's got the hair spiked up. He looks like he's out of a 90s boy band that just got a little bit older. He is the Nick Bass of video game reviews. And this guy 100% is a rip off artist, chucking and jiving, juking these oh, did I rip it off? No, everyone had this idea. I just put it out 2 years after someone else.
Yeah. I guess, Philip, I know you're probably going to be listening to this podcast. So since I just want you to know that shame on you. Shame on you, Philip.
Shame.
Shame on you. And if I was your parent, I would put you in the corner. Time out.
Oh,
5 minutes at least.
all right. Let's talk about not being original. Good job, Monica.
Oh.
So I don't know. I don't know where Philip goes from this. I don't think he has a future in the games media industry, which I didn't know that was actually a term. So nice. I got to watch this video and get that little title for myself because
Well,
we're a member of
he
the games media, Monica.
we are. We are. I think what he can do is keep apologizing, get some of those YouTube clicks, and then maybe take off
Mm.
by maybe doing prank videos.
Just
He
rips
seems
off
like
all the
he
reviews.
seems like a little prankster, So,
Oh, poor Philip. God bless him. Onwards and upwards, Philip. Um,
yes.
so let's move on to the first actual topic for the night. Kind of a, maybe we were a bit wrong from one of our earlier topics. A little article from the Chicago Tribune filed by Haley Tsukiyama. Gaming consoles could be obsolete here, Monica, probably sooner than later. In episode 68, we asked the question what we thought would be obsolete within gaming over the next 10 years. And I think we may have gone a little shy there.
Yeah, we did. We were both on the same page, which I was really, really impressed with and happy about. And I was like, wow, look at us. We're like thinking alike.
Yeah.
But we're both wrong.
Completely wrong.
So who fucking cares if we're thinking alike if we're saying the wrong thing, right? So basically, there were a handful of articles that have come out, and as gaming gets more and more attention, and it's going to continue, right? It's a huge, huge, huge industry. The doing away of gaming consoles, like when are they going to become obsolete?
Yeah.
And basically they're estimating that that's going to be happening a lot sooner than later. We've also talked on the podcast about Google jumping into the space. That's going to be a part of the supposed demise of the console. And I don't know, it makes me a little sad.
It does. One of the things I really wanted to ask you during this, like, will you actually miss consoles? And I absolutely think I'll miss having a console. I haven't played on one in a couple of months, but I always like having one. I like having it part of like my entertainment system underneath my TV. Like, here's my DVR box. Here's my collection of movies I'm never going to watch. And also next to it, my Xbox. I'm never going to play again because I'm a PC gamer, like a real human being. And I'm going to miss it because in the articles that we were reading, it was talking about, I think it was a Ubisoft developer who's basically saying we might be in the last generations of consoles. The next generation to come out from Xbox and PlayStation might just be the last.
Yeah.
Delivery methods are changing. People want things to be more portable. People want to be on their cell phones more now. And it got me thinking, like the Razer cell phone. Remember that article we covered like way back?
Yeah.
Maybe Razer's ahead of their time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that things are definitely heading in that direction. We're going to be seeing a lot more like browser games, I believe as well. But
yeah.
What's interesting is there is something to be said. I still, I think I'm probably just old school or just old, but there's something to be said, even just like the readers, right? I like holding a book. Now, some books I don't care about, so I don't mind reading them on a Kindle or some type of e-reader. But I like holding a book. I like going through the pages.
Yeah.
And if we're going to be losing out on a console, and I'm not going to lie, there's one element. This is very human element, and maybe this is something I should be embarrassed of. But there have been times in my life where I'm really proud of how many consoles I have.
Okay, you're a bit of a collector.
I have been, I at this point now I'm only at current generation, but in the past I have had multiple.
Yeah.
And that was something I enjoyed having multiple of. It wasn't it was like a trophy, you know?
It's not like you're tying it to your identity. Someone comes over to your house, they see like a PlayStation, Xbox, and like a GameCube or whatever, you're like, oh, Monica's a real gamer. Monica throws down. This isn't a joke. She wasn't just putting up a show.
Yeah. And it's just like, and also like the history with them too. There's like a history that you end up having with your consoles. But I'm not gonna lie. My consoles now history is mainly Netflix.
Yes, that is very true. Um, I think the Xbox and the PlayStation probably predominantly are used for entertainment delivery, much like Netflix or Hulu, which is like one of the big things that like made the Switch so cheap is that like they don't care about that stuff. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
for gamers; they want it to be portable, and that's actually an excellent point because I think I'm right there with you. Last time I used my Xbox, it was definitely I hooked it up. Like, can I get a movie to watch real quick? Because I don't feel like buying it off of Spectrum or whatever cable
Yeah.
service I have. Um, I don't know. I think the big selling point that these people are thinking about is that like people want to game anywhere now, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
on a plane, waiting in line for your Starbucks, whatever it is. I don't think I'm one of those people. I don't think I really get a good experience with portable gaming. Are you the type of person that wants to just like game anywhere?
I actually really do love the Switch for that.
Mhm.
I've taken it traveling a handful of times. I predominantly went out and bought it, not just because I wanted to play Zelda, but because I knew that I would enjoy the ability to take it to different places with me.
Mhm.
So I do think that in general, yes, I like it, but I am not somebody that is going to be like putting the Switch in the backpack because I'm going to go run some errands and maybe I want to just bust out a couple of levels on
Yeah.
Mario and Rabbids in the parking lot.
Yeah. I still haven't finished that game. I'm very sad about that. I'm not one of those people. I'm with you. Like, I got the Switch because, well, one, my girlfriend got it for me. It was a Christmas gift. I was interested because of its portability. But once I started actually using it and like playing on airplanes and stuff, like I was traveling a lot, I don't think I enjoyed it. I don't think I got a good, like, fully immersed entertainment experience. I like
Really?
Yeah, I like sitting down in my gaming chair or in my recliner or whatever it is, making sure the lights are down. I got like a really good headset on. There's not anything around me to distract me. The lights are low, and like I am in the game. I am
Hmm.
like I am gripped by it. It's telling me a story or giving me an experience, whatever it is. And I just don't get that in transit. I don't get that when a lot of people are walking around me. Um, so if that's where like gaming is heading, I don't think I am down for that. I don't think I'm want to be part of that movement.
What will you do?
I guess I'll just ride off into the sunset, not playing a portable video game. I'll just
You're
be
just
sitting on
gonna
my horse thinking
you're
about,
gonna need that $1 million. Just go right off right
oh
into space.
God, no one's gonna bug me in space. Nobody.
Yeah.
Can you
Yep.
imagine being up there and like Houston's trying to talk to you and you're like, please, bro, I'm almost level 64. Can you can it for a little bit, bro? Just
Yeah.
stick it on pause. And I don't know. I just don't think that the console's gonna go away. I think that it's what people are projecting because these people get paid they got to earn a salary somehow. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because it's never going away, Monica.
What?
World of Warcraft. Did you have you seen that thing? It just released another expansion. 14 years into its thing, it's still on top. That is some staying power, and I think the console is just like World of Warcraft. It's never going anywhere.
People that are about to get married should have to figure out how World of Warcraft has stayed around this long.
You should definitely run some dungeons of World of Warcraft because like that's when it gets hot and heavy.
Yeah.
That's where the that's where the rubber hits the road. Like, what are you gonna do when you have a massive level 20 turtle trying to like body slam you and you're down to one heal and you really got two people you gotta heal? What are you gonna do there, Monica? What do you prioritize?
I don't know. I think you're just going to go ahead and just stop caring if the toilet seat's up or down.
Oh God, I never get to that point. Always down. All right, let's move on to the next article we're covering. Uh Probably the weirdest thing that we've ever talked about, creepiest thing we've ever talked about in this podcast.
Why
Uh
is it creepy?
it's
Okay,
creepy.
I'm ready.
The American Girl Gamer. You guys know the American Girl. Those are those super non creepy dolls that everyone likes to give little children because they're not like crazy looking. Microsoft is teaming up with American Girl, the doll company, to create the American Girl Gamer. Uh, pro-
Yes.
you don't think this is creepy at all?
I think that there's a part of me that just always wanted to have an American Girl doll, because they were you know, I don't know, out of my family's price range. I never got one. I wanted one. My friends got. I'm like, wait, I didn't get one. I don't understand. I don't know that it's creepy. Why is it creepy? I mean,
dolls are creepy. They don't
they are
blink.
creepy.
Their eyes
Dolls
just
are
sit
creepy.
there, and like their beady little eyes, and like, ugh. No,
I do think dolls are creepy. I agree with you in that, but I don't necessarily think that there's a gamer girl doll. What I did notice though is like I instantly said, "Okay, American Girl doll gamer, what are you wearing? We better check that out because don't worry, those of you that don't like to see boobies or any type of cleavage. This doll is covered from head to toe, and her shorts go halfway down her thighs. So there is no, she is not. Oh my God. I'm not repeating that. But she looks like she's just ready to really knock out some high octane gaming. I don't know what to say about this. I don't know what to say about this.
This is a bundle package. This doll comes with you buy a special edition of the Xbox, and this thing is bundled together. If you don't know what to buy your extreme Red Bull drinking niece for Christmas this year, make sure to get her an Xbox American Girl Gamer. She comes with a headset like a real gamer. She's even got the little microphone down. Those are some good looking gaming headsets. She's got a little tiny Xbox controller in her hand. I hope it's functional. She's sitting in a sweet ass gaming chair because we all know those are good for your back.
Yeah.
This thing actually has speakers on it. You can hook it up to any audio device that actually has a audio jack in it, like you would real headphones. This thing has all the bells and whistles. Like, it is ready to go. She even has a sweatshirt hoodie on, a zip up sweatshirt hoodie like all gamers do, because I don't know what it is. I go to gaming conventions and it is a sea of zipped up like
it's
hoodies.
True.
I don't know what it is. It's like, oh, you're going to a convention? Make sure you grab like anywhere from 2 to 18 zip up hoodies to put in your bag.
I would love to know who designed this doll and what research they did in order to make it
Exile
Yeah.
The hell?
I don't know. I think that it is as a female, as a girl, like, or I guess I'm a woman now. I was once a girl. What am I? Who knows? A good girl, not yet a woman. I don't know. I'm an old lady. As a young lass, I think I would have enjoyed a doll like this, but it feels so pushy.
It does. I do like the idea that, like, you know, they're trying to introduce gaming to a younger female generation, so it's not as hard for them. There's not as much as like a gatekeeping scenario, like they get in younger. I appreciate that. Over the weekend, I played with some like extraordinary gaming women who like dunked on people in a big gaming tournament, and it really did get me thinking about how far gaming has come for women, to where now there are girls who would probably be my niece's age, who have people in these big tournaments that they can look up to and watch, and then they can buy the American Girl Gamer. This is a like whole new era for women in gaming, and it's starting with the American Girl at a solid price of $49.99. That's probably a little low.
I didn't even know that they were still around, but they are. And, you know, I might just have to get my own. I might just take my own little gamer girl doll on the road with me. Oh, you don't tempt me.
All right. Can you get the gaming girl and just like post it at different pictures like around the country? Like how people gamer girls here in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Ooh, Liberty.
Just me. But not only that, it'll be me and her. So it will be like really creepy, where it's like just out with my gamer girlfriend, and this is me and this little tiny doll. Oh, it's going to be so good. Can
you buy 2 tickets everywhere you go?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the worst.
Going to TwitchCon. I bought 2 $200 tickets in order to go to TwitchCon. I brought me and my little gamer girl. I'll see what I can do, Brian. I'll try to make this happen for us.
I can't wait. This is the most exciting thing that's ever come out of this podcast. All right, let's go to break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about gaming and politics. Right back, Backspace Nomads podcast. All right, thank you for sitting through that break, Nomads. Welcome back to episode 70 of the Backspace Nomads podcast. Coming back from break, we're going to be talking about gaming and politics and responsibilities that maybe game devs have to start putting on their games. We had a series of articles that we read through, some very interesting readings that kind of have been tackling this idea that maybe it's time for gaming finally to get a little bit more responsible, think about the content and the games that they're making and the people that they're making it for. One of the first articles we started with was from the game industry that games need to take more responsibility. This was filed by Brendan Sinclair, and it talks about how there is a kind of a shift going on in the younger generations of gaming where kids aren't necessarily playing Lego games and other kid oriented games anymore. And they're starting to shift over to more violent Grand Theft Auto type games at a much earlier age. Monica, thoughts on gaming and responsibility in this younger generation of psychopaths that we're raising?
Oh, well, games have oftentimes been political
Yeah.
or they get roped in. They've got lots, anytime there's a shooting, it's like, was he a gamer?
Yeah.
But one of the things that's being brought up here is the fact that there are a handful of games that weren't necessarily, like, when I was growing up, playing Grand Theft Auto was like something you kind of had to sneak.
Yeah.
I was young. My mom didn't want me playing it. It was a discussion. We had a discussion in the house about whether or not this game was going to be played.
Like
right?
everyone sitting down at the table, like pros and cons type of discussion.
Yeah, it was like my brother and I said we wanted to play it. We said we weren't going to go out and have sex with hookers as if we played it. I don't really remember exactly how the discussion went, but I think we had to talk to my mom and my dad. And I think my dad probably said 2 words, and my mom was more like, hey, there are things in this game that are troubling, and we need to talk about that before you just go off and play it.
Yeah.
I don't know if parents do that kind of stuff anymore. Who knows? But I do think that as more and more games are introduced, they do have an impact, right? We're playing, we are putting an emphasis, hours of our lives into something, including television. And it does seem like things have gotten, I don't think that game developers have to care about who is playing their game. I think that they can create what they want to, but I don't necessarily think that there is anything wrong with getting more cautious about age restrictions. However, I also don't think that age restrictions have done anything.
No. Because
you always have the friend who's got all the games that are restricted, and you just go over to their house.
You do. I was a gamer who I'd never have been restricted by my parents for the types of games I was playing. I was playing Mortal Kombat like super early when we were having this discussion probably back in the early 1990s when it was released. Like, should little Brian be uppercutting someone's head off and seeing their spinal cord ripped out of their body and thrown down into a pit of spikes? This conversation has come up time and time and time again. And look at me. I'm fine. I haven't hurt anybody in my life. I'm not uppercutting everyone that I see. I didn't go through high school thinking about, I don't know, maybe I should take my hat off and whip it around at this dude like I'm Raiden. It just never happened. I don't know. Maybe I'm different. Maybe I didn't internalize it. But I do see the point where the guy is saying we're seeing less and less of kids wanting to play these childish games. And I've never been one who thought I should go play them. Just because something is oriented towards kids doesn't mean it's good or bad. But if you're making bad kids, why do kids want to play it? Nintendo is a huge example of a company that has been making games for kids that translate to adults for years and years. And young kids will play games like Splatoon, just like someone in their 30s will play Splatoon. So I don't think this developer, I really don't agree with like the big like argument of this developer that like kids are just shifting towards Grand Theft Auto. Maybe it's because Grand Theft Auto is just a funner gaming experience. Maybe Grand
Yeah.
Theft Auto and their persistent, he's probably talking more specifically about GTA 5 online, having a
Hmm.
persistent online character where you can go and you know what your character is, you log in to play it, a couple of your friends are there, some other people you've met online are there. That's probably a better experience for little Johnny than jumping on and trying to level up a brand new character in like Adventure Time world or whatever it is. Like they just don't care like that. Minecraft was a huge game because it was persistent. Everyone they knew what they were doing every time they jumped on, and that's how they get addicted to these types of games.
One of the things that we have talked about previously, though, is the fact that like one of the reason why the Fortnite community is a more, I guess, jovial, friendly community
Hmm.
is because there is not um, as much communication
Yeah,
allowed, and I do think that the communication in online games is can be sometimes even traumatic
yeah,
for children. I would go as far as to say traumatic.
yeah.
Now, whether or not they adopt that type of approach to other people afterwards, or whether or not, however they internalize it and process it, I I almost say like if there were going to be restrictions, it might not necessarily be on the type of game itself, but the type of people that you get to communicate with.
Okay.
Like if you have to have, I mean, this would be freaking crazy, but you had to like list out, your age or whatever. I mean, and let's say that there was a system where you weren't able to lie, and then it
Mhm.
matches you with like people, because not only that, but like on a protection level of, when you've got any adults playing with like little kids, it's just they're going to be experiencing something possibly that that's not their parent,
Yeah.
you know?
Mhm.
I don't know. I do think that it's a little bit troubling, mainly because of the online community dynamics. Um, I do think that it can be a little bit troubling. I don't know if there's an easy way to combat that. I really think that that's up to the parents. I think that there probably just needs to be more communication.
Mhm.
But Brian, I don't remember ever, I mean, games didn't exist where I could go online as like a 7-year-old and go online and have someone go, "Hey, you little beep, like beep, 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 suck my beep."
Yeah.
I didn't experience that as a child.
Well, I mean, I didn't experience that online, but like when I went out to the playground, I did. Like I got it.
Did you?
Yeah, came from a
Oh,
rough and tumble neighborhood from the wrong side of the tracks, Monica. Okay, video games were a
okay.
refuge for me, and how dare these people try and make this? I think this is a business argument for them. I don't know why
Mhm.
they think that people want to play some dumb Crayola scooter game over this like fantastically crafted like Grand Theft Auto game that's gorgeous
Yeah.
and like massive
Yeah.
and deep. And it's just I think this is a smaller developer uh problem where now they can't compete with these bigger developers who are making these fantastic games, and they have this niche market that they thought they could go after, and it's just not working out anymore for them. And this probably ties into kind of a delivery method kind of from earlier in the podcast. We were talking about how games are being delivered now. You know, Grand Theft Auto has a lot more updates all the time now. Like there's more content
Mhm.
coming out for way cheaper, sometimes free. And that is probably more appealing to a parent who, without assuming too much, probably doesn't have a ton of money to keep spending on stuff.
Yeah.
So here's Grand Theft Auto. Dad was probably playing it, and now he lets his kids play it. Now there's all these free updates, and like it's just I don't know, man. I don't see this responsibility argument coming for developers. Um, if anything, the place that responsibility is going to have to fall on is kind of playing off you. It's going to have to come from a hardware perspective. Um,
Yeah.
how do we stop kids from interacting online and with voice with other people? Probably by disconnecting their microphone.
Yeah.
And when their microphone is disconnected, they can't hear other people talking in game. Like
Yeah.
I don't think it comes down to the developer. I think it comes down to other people. And
No, 100%. I do not think that games need to take more responsibility with their content, because there is a chance that a child is going to be playing it, or they're likely that children will be playing it. I do think that, we need to have that creative freedom, and that does need to exist. I don't know. It opens up an interesting, you know, I don't know enough on how communication, how that has broadened or shaped you experienced it on the playground. Now
Mhm.
kids are just experiencing it on their couch. But
Lazy.
um but I do think that in general, we looked into another article talking about the fact that games, should games be more political?
Yeah.
What and they were focused on as well as like what responsibilities and regulations um, can really be introduced through the games, not just through like actually like you have to log in and be a certain age, but through the game's story. Are games supposed to take a specific stance? Should gaming be used to have a bigger stance
Mhm.
in politics?
Yeah, that article was actually kind of fascinating to read through in terms of perspective. It comes from The Guardian by Alfie Brown, who filed it. It plays off this idea that the Division Two, which was blew up at E3 as a big promotion, it comes from a rough and tumble DC, where DC's been destroyed. It's more authoritarian because it's the government locking stuff down, and how Ubisoft is refusing to take a political stance with that game. And I think I'm like baseline gonna have to side with like the developer Ubisoft on this, which like don't ever quote me on that because I hate them. But I don't know where this article's coming from. How all of a sudden now the video games need to take a political stance. Why? This article is kind of arguing that the field of literature and books at some point went through this kind of phase where they took a more political stance, and that's fine. Um, but a book is written by one author with one vision, with one theme. Most of the time, I'm not gonna say all books. Whereas a video game is, a large part a culmination of a lot of people with a lot of
Yeah.
ideas and sold to a much broader market than any book has the scope to.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think all games are sold to that much of a that broader of a market, but I do agree that that is a very interesting point.
Mhm.
You bring up a very good point. I was not ready
Thank
for
you.
that point, Brian.
I come to
Gosh
play,
darn
Monica.
it.
I come to play.
Oh gosh darn it. No, that is important though. That it is an accumulation of people. And if you
Mhm.
are running an entire company that is working to create one game, to politicize it is almost to make you're almost not allowing a diverse employment base,
Yeah.
for that within that development house. So man, I was not ready for that, Sid. I was not
I hate
ready
to
for
get you
that.
out of the blocks like that. I would have saved that one for the back end. I didn't know I was gonna trip you up like that.
You did, because I hadn't even thought of it that way. I guess in general, the way I was thinking about it was, I do think it's interesting. Okay, so
Mhm.
I do feel like games are now the one of the biggest platforms in order to present entertainment,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And as a whole, the type of entertainment that is being presented is predominantly, unless you go into the drudges of Steam, it is predominantly strictly for entertainment purposes, and you're not really having to deal with a lot of politicized gameplay.
Yeah.
But I do think that it's interesting. And gosh, you know what? Now, the more I'm thinking about this now, I'm getting nervous because I'm so tired of politics as a whole.
Mhm.
But I do think that gaming is an interesting platform for politics. We actually talked about a game a long time ago, and it was about the pipeline. Remember that?
I don't.
We were we were trying. There was a game that was out there. It was put out in order to help protest against a pipeline.
I do remember this game now. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Yes. So that game came out, and it was informative, it was tugging on the heartstrings. It was trying to teach people the pain that would possibly come from putting this pipeline in
Yeah.
as it went over land that was very, very important. I really liked that concept.
Yeah.
I really liked that. And when I think about that concept and what's happening here, I don't necessarily think that games should be forced to take on a stance.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that they have the power to, and I'm not seeing that done in as big of a way as maybe I would like to, because when we're talking about books,
Mm-hmm.
novels, and the impact that they have made on society, that does exist.
Yeah. Well,
Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah, it is. And, to a lesser extent, I think that gaming has at certain points had more political messages. I think that this guy has kind of glossed it over because it kind of um contradicts his viewpoint. Most recently that comes to mind is Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5
Yeah.
was a very political game, but it explored the ideas of a very right wing, uh, you know, terrorist movement inside of America. But that's not what this author of this article is looking for. He's looking for a leftist like hurrah celebration where this Far Cry 5, like you're in the role that you play in, you're a cop trying to deal with this terrorist group that's very right wing, and they
Mhm.
are exploring some very controversial ideas that come from the deep right about the role of government, the role of a what a civil war would look like in this country in the modern age. Um,
Yeah.
and so I think this guy is looking for things that are a little bit more leftist um, to kind of combat the times that we live in, with the Trump administration and this feeling of this like, massive power like weighting down the people. So like I'm gonna take his argument and run with it. I don't think that this is gonna come from where he wants it to, like Ubisoft and EA, because those are money machines. Just like you want to find this type of movement in, I don't know, let's say the encyclopedia. EA and Ubisoft are writing mass market books. This stuff is gonna come from the indie landscape. The
Yeah.
game you brought up, that's from a indie developer who was looking to promote a cause.
Yep.
Um, and so I think that these games are out there. I just don't think that they're gonna get marketing appeal
Attraction. Yeah.
attraction. They go, I'm
Yep.
sure there was a ton of weird right-wing games on Steam back when we used to do the good, the bad, the indie. Remember all those?
Yes,
Tons
I
of them.
do.
Uh
I do.
Not very much liberal ideology within those. What
Mhm.
there was, and I don't want to like put too much on what a liberal is, but there are a lot of indie games that are exploring the ideas of emotions. And I think those are the same type of people that would be into leftist politics, uh, without like, just tying things too hard together. Those are more the artistic people. And so that's why I don't think those types of games are getting made. Cause I just don't think there's like leftist political people in small and indie houses where everything that they're doing is it's like they live or die as a development team with the release of their game, and then you
Yeah.
went through all this politics, and I don't see it happening for them.
So I guess there are a lot of a lot of issues, a lot of discussions out there in the political realm, and I do think that some of the games that have been successful have touched on them, probably more so in relation to like mental illness
Mhm.
or elements like that. But it is an interesting topic for me. I disagree that it necessarily has to, like what this article is asking for, kind of pushing one particular agenda. I don't know that that's healthy or right, but um but what I but what I do think would be amazing would be for that, like, To Kill a Mockingbird to come out into gaming. Like
Yeah.
if there was a
Yeah.
game that ended up shaping minds that really could be used. I mean, imagine, like, we're talking about more and more, games are going to be coming into high schools.
Yeah.
Games are going to be, our esports are kind of taking over with colleges and everything. Imagine games being within that realm, within that story realm, and the impact that they could have. I don't know. I think that still exists, and I think that some of the larger companies could tap into that.
Mhm.
And I think if it was done right, it could be phenomenal. But to force that, disagree. I mean, in general, I guess what we're talking about here is, are games required to be political? Should games be political? Should games be forcing an agenda? And I I don't think that that's the case. I think that that is a really rash or brash choice to make for an entire, multi-billion-dollar industry.
Absolutely. And I think like closing thoughts on this is, the guy in the article is pushing for like leftist ideology. Maybe the fact of the matter is leftist ideology makes for a boring story. It's a boring story to live in a utopia. It's a boring story where everyone has healthcare. Like, hooray. Like, what are we going to do? You know what's interesting? Bowser coming in and destroying, trying to take over entire kingdom. Okay. But then leftist Mario comes along and tries to save the day once again, make everyone equal. And so I just don't think this guy's looking. I don't think this guy's looking because I think the leftist ideology is kind of out there. It's just not overtly political like he would like, because that would mean you don't have to think as much, and that sucks, Monica. You don't have to think. All right. Any last thoughts on this topic?
No, I'm good. I think that that's a good closing statement. I'm now thinking about Bowser and his flaming red hair and just having a good time.
That's going to do it for episode 70 of the Backspace Nomads podcast. Thank you for hanging out and listening to us. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. 5-star ratings on all the audio platforms, because we're on Spotify now, Monica. We're on Spotify. Finally made it to the new age, 2018.
We're there.
Episode 70. That's going to be it. See you guys later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.